Hey everybody, it's Sue Ann over here, Living Room Lectures, again doing Course in Miracles material, and I got my kitty cat next to me here. People remember I used to record sort of in this space with that cat there. And folks were asking for videos, so this is kind of like unedited, just putting something out there about Course in Miracles and how, what's it like when the mind wakes up. So the mind doesn't really wake up. The mind is awake all the time. It's just one's awareness of it or not. So oftentimes I say it is as if we're looking the other way and not focusing and turning around and seeing the one who is aware all of the time. So what's very interesting is that once you do wake up and you're aware of that mind, which is what you'd call awakening or enlightenment, I don't know. But when you become aware of the mind, that it doesn't get healed, it already is healed, it just is already perfect, innocent. There's this huge sense of well-being, this huge sense of joy. I mean, it's just really an incredible place to kind of like reside is often what I say now. So then it appears as if like two things are going on. So you have like paintings with cats, and you have hair, and you have another green painting, and you have dogs that you walk, and you have, you know, husbands and family and people that have died, people that have been born, jobs, all sorts of things going on. Now that is all completely in this dream that had been made up by the mind, and that it was as if it could make this dream. And then the dream seems like it has bodies and places where it lives and times and days of the week. It has places it goes. It has bedrooms here where you tape something. It's got places where you work. It's got cars, and every thought that is going on in the mind is actually what projects all of that material appearance out. So every material appearance, including your body and your personality, all the way back until there's none of that, is all in the dream. And they're all made with thoughts. So that's why, of course, in the beginning of the Course of Miracles, in the first workbook lessons, it talks about that we're giving everything all the meaning that it has for us. So as we're looking around, we're having reactions to, the time of day when you make a video, how you look, what people might think, how will you be perceived, what kind of comments will you get. These are all dream figure concerns, worries. These thoughts run through the mind, and there is no use in trying to stop them. There's no use in trying to change them. There's no use in trying to make them better, try to make the green painting blue. There's just no reason to change any of that, because this is like this story that's playing out. I won't even get into the script is written stuff. But what I am going to be talking about here is what I'm already doing, is that it seems as if two things are going on. So there is a dream world that is playing out like a movie. It's already filmed. Like I say, I'm talking about the script is written, because it all dovetails together. All these ideas and mesh, and what is discussed in the course. Once you have the experience of it, then you go and you look back, and then you see that everything that it had been talking about is what happens. Once you've experienced it, then you know. So like I said, it appears as if two things are going on. So there's a very busy world with lots of reactions. Reactions to your body, reactions to how it feels, reactions to cold and hot and thirst and hunger, and then on and on. I have to go get gas in the car. And I'm going on about all this because this is what we're all thinking all the time. And we are thinking that that is reality. But there is not one thought, without exception, that is not in this dream. So this complete dream can be seen as like in a bubble that is outside of the one who's experiencing it and who can be looking at it. So that is why there is so much emphasis on looking without judging at every single reaction you have. Eventually you'll kind of go back in your mind, and it won't be so much as if it's happening outside of you as it kind of reels back in. So first it seems like it's politics, then it's family, then it's the house, then it's the personality, then it's the body, and then finally you're like behind that. although of course we know there's no behind and in front, but for the sake of the split mind that talks in these terms, it's the only way that we can communicate. So basically, all that appears to be happening, but it is not actually happening. So you will come to, as you're looking and looking and looking, and today I posted about like you look like 1,000,000 times without judgment at your judgment, at your anger, at your happiness, at your wishfulness, at your faith, at your hopefulness. Even I'm throwing in all the good things too. All of them. None of them are real. Because reality is constant, without an opposite, without a change. And that is why it feels so joyful. That's why it feels like such safeness and surety. And it just never changes. So it is a wonderful place to reside. You know, just almost like when we go to sleep at night, you know, there is that really, really deep sleep, but there's not even any dreams. And people actually go psychotic in the dream if they don't get a lot of that, like, or some of that every night. And if you go for several, sleepless nights, or you have insomnia or what have you, and you do not have those types of periods at night, which is like the deepest rest, well, that is somewhat what it's like. Right? So you reside there, but you're very aware of the dream. And everyone else that's in the dream, they think you are exactly the same. I think it's workbook 135, but they think you're exactly the same as you were before, because they only are seeing through the eyes that look out instead of the eyes that look in. I hate to put in and out, but that's kind of how it is. And so once the turnaround happens and you realize who's been looking the whole time, who is the experiencer that has been experiencing the nighttime dreams, the daytime dreams, and like through a whole lifetime, I'm 60 now. So there's been like almost every decade, different kinds of experiences. The body looks different. The body acts different. It has different phases of these lifespans that we have, and what you do in each phase. And all those experiences, we're coming to this one awareness that is always constant, and made the whole thing, actually. We can get into that in another video, but basically, I was going to talk about that. It seems like two things are going on. So the one thing that's really going on is reality. So this God reality that is what we are, and everyone and everything is there. There's nowhere to go. There's no one to see. You're not lacking anything. And that is constantly going on. And it's as if there's this game of a dream where we are playing at different characters. And like I said, even different characters within, 60 years or 80 years, or if we live only 12 years, whatever. We are even playing different roles within that. We go back and forth between victim and victimizer. And another thing that was very important for me as I went along was to finally realize how much I enjoyed, especially the suffering and the entrapped feelings and the dark night of the soul, as they call it, and how much I loved that, like, secretly, right? So I would never tell anyone that. I was always like complaining, right? And then the complaining fed on itself, and it was all thoughts within the dream, and only within the dream. And all those thoughts belong to the dream. So you'll begin to realize you are none of those thoughts. So it's very easy when thoughts come, you just realize they are not me. And it's not even like a mantra or an affirmation you tell yourself. You just know that, oh yeah, that's just part of the dream. And you can go into it a bit if you want. You can go do anything. You can go into the dream. And so that's why I say you don't even lose the dream. That's what's so crazy. You don't lose anything there. Your real self has never been in it. It's like what it does is it's if it goes and it fits in a slot in a particular story, as if you were casted in a role in a play, and the play is already written, and you pick, that you're going to be Theodora, or you're going to be Marcus, or whatever within the movie play. And then you get up on stage and you act your best part, and you really get into it and you love doing it. But then when you walk off the stage, you know that you are not that part or that play. And then reality is there. But if you walked off the stage and you remain being that character, that's basically what we do, is we just stay in that character all the time, and we're very much asleep. That's why it's called a dream. And we're very much asleep in it until we begin to look. And when we have, when we do self-inquiry in the mind, beginning with where we think we are, which is as an ego, we begin to self-inquire if this stuff is real. Could this really be real? Could everything I'm thinking and how I react and my emotions and how much they change throughout the day, and happiness and sadness and, oh, I ate great ice cream and I hope I get it again and whatever, right? Is all that really, really happening when it changes so much? And as like I said, the observer, the mind, is always constantly there. It is the one that the experiences come to, but it does not need the experiences. It is completely separate and not dependent on the dream experiences at all. But the dream experience cannot even know about the mind, that like as if it's playing a film. Does the film, when we go to a movie theater, does it like up on the screen, does it look back at us at the audience and know we're there? It doesn't know anything, right? It's just a projection. Oh, I got over 10 minutes. Darn it, I was going to try to hit only 10. But y'all have a really good evening, and I'm going to post this up real quick.